Indiana and Purdue went at it for the second time this season, this time up in West Lafayette, and it was a 20-point win for the Boilers, which no surprise there, although it was a relatively fun and close game up until there was a moment in the first half, and I was like, what just happened? They let Purdue just go on this run, and it was like they were just sitting there spinning their wheels in mud, and some unforced errors, but they just can't get done what they need to get done, especially 3-point shooting. They shoot Indiana shoots 25%. Purdue was 8 of 21 for 38% on the day. Neither team can shoot a free throw. Indiana 60%, 9 for 15. Purdue was 21 of 33, 63%. What the hell's happened with college basketball players? Free throws are not that damn hard. They have not gotten. Here's the thing: the 3-point line has been moved over the years. I understand a difference in percentage of connecting there. The 3-point line, the same thing it has been since 1905 or whatever you want to go back to. Nothing has changed. The basketball, the same size. The rim, the same size. Nothing has changed other than the guys that are shooting this. And I just don't think that, there's either I don't know that they're completely focused when those guys are at the line. I mean, there are certain guys that shoot well, but then other guys are like, yeah, that's a crapshoot.
Yeah, and I think right now Purdue's just going through a bit of an ebb there. They've been a pretty decent free throw shooting team all season long. Edie, for being as big as he is usually a very good free throw shooter, and that's
he's like
needed
70% shooter.
Yeah, and if he's getting to the line 10 times a game and he's shooting 70%, I mean that's something you want to see. But he will go through some streaks where he'll miss 4, 5, 6 in a row, and then he'll dial in and he'll hit like 12 in a row. So I just think it goes in ebbs and flows. If you're a Purdue fan, that is one concern, that they're, as a team, kind of struggling right now. I know they got a ton of free throws against Northwestern, but they missed a lot against Northwestern. And if there is one weakness there, Trey Kaufman-Renn has struggled from the line for his entire career. And if you want to put a guy on the line, he's the guy to put on the line, honestly.
I noticed that the other day. Not very good shooter. And as a matter of fact, he's just not a really good shooter, period. What is his what does he bring to that roster? Because there are so many, they have so much talent, with whether it's Mason Gillis, the guy, I can't think of his name right now.
Caleb First.
No, but he's another one that fills in there. But there's one other one. Maybe he's a 2 guard. I can't remember. I'm not talking about Lawyer. But Kaufman-Renn is just like, he's kind of an odd man out when he's in. It's like he's just filling some space for a minute.
And he's had some really good games. He had a fantastic game against Illinois. I think he was close to 20 points in that game. And he's a good rebounder. He's good back to the basket. He's not Edie, doesn't have Edie's size, but he likes to play on the low block and can work guys that way. So I think that's what Matt Painter wants out of him. And he can step out and shoot the 3. He shot it relatively well. He's only taken like 1 or 2 a game sometimes, but he has shown he can hit it. And I think what Painter is kind of doing now is he's the starter out there, but you got Mason Gillis as the finisher in that spot. And Gillis honestly is one of the best 6th men in the Big Ten, if not the entire country. He would start for how many teams and play 30 minutes a night. So I really think that it's kind of a hybrid role there, where you have Kaufman-Renn is working things early and Gillis is working them late. But if you'll notice, early in the second half, Purdue made a concerted effort those first few possessions against Indiana to get Kaufman-Renn the ball on the low block and get him some work. And that was good to see that they're kind of trying to see how they can get him involved a little bit more, because it is an interesting experiment running 2 post-heavy players like that, Edie and Kaufman-Renn, like it's 1984.
Like it's 1984. I guess that's better than like it's 1999. But so coming up next for everybody, what's up next for Purdue? Let's check their schedule coming up. As after their win this weekend, they're still at home as a Minnesota team comes in. That should be nothing more than a good workout for Purdue. Not that Minnesota's bad. They're not going to beat Purdue in West Lafayette. Purdue then has to travel to what could be the worst team in the Big Ten, Ohio State. And then they host Rutgers at home, who, while they've had their ups and downs with Rutgers and mainly because Rutgers is one of those teams that can play physically with Purdue, and you have to be able to do that, but they don't have the offensive firepower, I believe. Then Purdue goes to Michigan again, a team that's not playing all that well. Then they host Michigan State, which, while Michigan State is playing well, it's in West Lafayette. Purdue travels to Illinois. That's probably before hosting Wisconsin for their last game. So the only game I even see Purdue having a challenge in the rest of this season is when they travel to Illinois on March 5th.
Yeah, and the Big Ten might be decided by then. I mean, that's the second to last game of the year. I don't want to look past Rutgers just because they have played Purdue hard for many years in a row, and they are one of only two teams in the conference that has 2 wins in West Lafayette the last 10 years.
And they're playing well right now.
Yeah, and they're playing well. They play nasty defense, and Steve Peichel has given Purdue fits in recent seasons. I mean, they won in West Lafayette last year. They had the Miracle Heave win 2 years ago that ended up costing Purdue the Big Ten title in Piscataway. And they're going to give Purdue a game. And that's really kind of Purdue's biggest test right now is, can they maintain that focus? Yeah, they've got 2 easier road games at Ohio State and Michigan. Never count on a win anywhere in the Big Ten. And then just got to stay focused in the other games. But I really do think that Purdue probably won the conference this weekend with Illinois losing at Michigan State, just because basically Illinois is going to have to be perfect the rest of the way. They cannot lose another game to get in the race. And then everybody else already has 5 losses and is 3 games behind Purdue, while Purdue has 7 games left to play. And Purdue's not going to lose 3 out of their last 7. So it's really, Illinois has to play perfect and get a lot of help to make this even a challenge right now.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just while conference play can always be conference play, looking at it on paper, it is what it is. But we'll see. That's why they play the games, because you've got other teams that have other reasons to play hard. Like I said, Rutgers has not been. Boy, they've been looked at as shaky, but then they've done some things. They've not stopped playing hard. That's the one thing about Rutgers is they have not stopped playing hard, and that's how you get the win that they got this weekend. So they're a team you just can't sleep on, and that's and especially one that has played well in Mackey, which is hard to do. So that is why Purdue can't sleep on them, as you said.
Yeah, I mean can they drag Purdue into a 65-63 game? Absolutely. I mean, Purdue struggled to beat them in Piscataway just a few weeks ago and everything. It ended up being a good win, but it was one of Purdue's worst offensive games probably of the season. So, I'm not putting anything past them. And then, you just have to take one game at a time. I think Minnesota could, be at least challenging. They're feisty this year. I thought that they had a real chance to play their way into the NCAA tournament before they lost this weekend. But Purdue's a clear favorite the rest of the way. And as long as they take care of business in the Big Ten, they're going to be a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. They're going to be playing in Indianapolis, probably playing in Detroit in the Sweet 16 and Elite 8. There's really no excuse now. There's no excuse to not have a deep tournament run. You're not getting an easier path to the Final Four than what they're probably going to get in terms of location and seeding.
Yeah, I have not looked here. Is Indianapolis hosting a site? Or is it
Yes,
Louisville?
Indianapolis is hosting the first and second rounds at the Fieldhouse downtown. So if Purdue's a 1 seed, they'll be right here in Indy.
There's virtually no way that they won't be a 1 seed. They would have to they'd have to go on a Wisconsin-esque streak to lose that, I think, because their body of work has been solidified enough that they're going to be a number 1 seed. UConn is going to be a number 1 seed. I don't know if I know who the fourth will be yet. Houston has seemed like that their body of work, although they just took a pounding from Kansas, would be a number 1 seed. And then you've got questions. Is it Kansas, who has been so up and down? They've got major wins and some questionable losses. You've got teams like Tennessee, Auburn, but both of those teams just lost. So it's going to be fun. I think this tournament is going to be fun again, but we've got the Big Ten tournament first, which unfortunately is up in, as Don mentioned earlier, for the last time in Minneapolis and on the frozen tundra. They might as well have just played it at in Green Bay. Let's just go to Green Bay and if you're gonna put a basketball court out on the frozen tundra.
At least it's in the right spot this year, as opposed to the year it was at the world's most overrated arena in New York, where they made him hold it a week early and everybody had to sit down for a week and not do anything. But but yeah, the Big Ten tournament should always be in Chicago or Indianapolis. Personally, I think it should always be in Indy, just because I like taking a couple days off my day job and going down and watching basketball for 4 straight days, less than 5 miles from my house. So
I think it just should be. I'm being there's no way to not say that and not be biased. But yes, it should be. It is the place, man. There's no better place than Indianapolis to host any kind of a basketball tournament or otherwise. They have shown that.